Good day all, and welcome back to a sunny South African. This is South African Prepper. So, my last video about the three different types of survival crops um, did extremely well, and thank you very much for watching that. And it actually reminded me of life. Certain things in life, or most things in life, are not guaranteed. And it reminded me of the fact that when you prepare, you go through certain stages, okay? And we've been preparing for about 10 years now. And in the beginning, when you start preparing, you are preparing for just in case, just in case something happens. And then you run into a, let's call it a life situation, whether it is a natural disaster or a family crisis or business crisis. And then you realize that the prepping that you've been doing actually makes life a little bit easier, okay, or more bearable in that circumstances or hardship that you are going through. And then you get to a stage where you realize that preparing or prepping, aka prepping, is a necessity of life. And it's quite strange because our forefathers, they were consistently preparing. They were consistently, let's call it hoarding or storing away of certain items to be used at a later stage. Um, Now, in life, a lot of things are not a definite or a certain. But I've come to realize especially the last 2 months, that certain things have gone from it's a maybe to almost a guarantee. Um, and the one thing that it seems like used to be a maybe is starting to become a guarantee, and that is food shortages. I read an article about food production plants in America that are burning down, something like 24 in the last 2 months. And I thought to myself, yes, that's no coincidence, eh? And I look at South Africa and I look at agricultural sector, and it's almost like the powers to be are trying to stop us to actually produce and supply food to people for some reason. It's like they are forever pulling the leash back. Um, the war in Ukraine. Okay, a lot of people thought yes, it's gonna take 2-3 weeks maybe, and already we are 2 months into this war, and it seems like certain people, let's like not take sides here, but certain people have certain agendas. We do know that war is extremely profitable, um, and it seems like this war will just escalate, and it will tear the West apart. And this will lead to more food shortages. This might lead to bigger conflicts in the near future. China is already gearing up. It seems like they will go after Taiwan very soon. When this will happen, we don't know. So, China being the factory of the world, um, again, are under strict lockdown. So, the factory of the world is closed again. So, certain items we can't import anymore because of China being closed, and things become a absolute guarantee. If you look at what's happening, food shortages in the world is an absolute guarantee. We've been tracking and tracing food prices for the last 10 years. I actually write them down, and it's shocking to see how the pricing has gone up, and especially since 2020 when we started with this thing. The prices has dramatically increased. Now, for some reason in South Africa, we've been lucky so far. We haven't really seen the shortages on the shelves, but we've seen the price increase. We've seen the products becoming smaller and costing more. They call that shrinkflation. And then you realize that certain things are just a guarantee. It seems like the higher powers, let's call them the elites of the world, they always profit out of everybody's suffering. They profit out of war. They profit from countries that are destabilized. They actually pay for countries to be destabilized, like ourselves in South Africa. And they keep on profiting, they keep on getting more richer, and the normal guy, me and you, we are the ones that are suffering at the end of the day. So you need to really hunker down and you need to finalize your prepping, because food shortages is a guarantee. The war in Ukraine escalating is a guarantee. Your prepping should be at a stage where you are now ready to survive long term. And that means once your prepping food is finished, you need to be able to produce yourself, to keep yourself and your family alive. That is the only way that you as a prepper will survive the next 5 years. This is South African Prepper. Please like, share, and subscribe.